Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, despite recantations, the Justice Department's panel of prosecutors is confident of the mounting evidence against the suspects in the slay of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo and 9 others. And the House Ethics Panel set to release its recommendation on the fate of embattled Negros Oriental Congressman Arnie Teves next week. Teves' lawyer, Attorney Ferdie Topacio, joins us in the program. Also later, groups warn of a possible rice crisis due to the looming El Nino phenomenon. Agriculture Senior Undersecretary Leocadio Sebastian tells us more later in the show. The DOJ panel of prosecutors remains confident the evidence against embattled Congressman Arnie Teves can withstand the recantation of a suspect who pointed to him as the mastermind in the killing of Governor Roel Degamo. Meanwhile, the House Committee on Ethics is expected to release its recommendation on the fate of Teves, who was earlier slapped with a 60-day suspension for refusing to return home. Let's go straight to the source of the story. Lead counsel of Congressman Arnie Teves, Attorney Ferdie Topacio. Attorney Topacio, as always, thank you for your time. Welcome to the source, sir.
Yes, good morning. It's always lovely to be with you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, the panel of prosecutors has received one affidavit of recantation. I was able to speak to Attorney Fadulion yesterday. It is believed that 3 more will be also issuing their affidavits of recantation. Just tell us the significance of these.
Before I do that, please allow me to take exception to certain insinuations made by the DOJ spokesman, Attorney Mike Lavano, wherein he implied that the lawyers of these people are obstructing justice. He's saying that there is bribery. He is pointing to a certain former undersecretary as pulling strings behind the scenes. I think Attorney Lavano should be told to put up or shut up, because these are serious accusations against fellow lawyers. And he should investigate. He should sue. Otherwise, he should clap up.
Actually,
well, the implication of this
Attorney,
is that...
Sorry, sir, Attorney,
I'm sorry.
let me start with this. First, I spoke to the lawyer of the Degamo family. Siya po ang nagsabi nun, to which when I interviewed Attorney Miko Clavano, I asked him that question. Supposedly, on this former undersecretary of the DOJ, yun po yung nanggaling sa lawyer po ng mga Degamo, to which tinanong ko po si Attorney Clavano. Maybe you didn't see that
yes,
previous
interview. Yes, nakita ko yung interview with Attorney Clavano. And he was insinuating, he even warned the lawyers not to obstruct justice. So these are serious accusations, these are serious implications that should be investigated. He better own up to those statements. Otherwise, he should change careers. He's a good-looking guy. Maybe he'd be better off in show business.
Okay, so let's talk about my first question. What is the implication of one affidavit of recantation and possibly 3 more? Because according to their lawyers, 4 po sila with 1 lawyer. Meron pa pong 3 that will recant their statements.
The implication is that this is a validation of what we have been saying all along, that these witnesses are being intimidated, threatened, with illegal prosecution. In fact, we have received reports that from media, I heard that the family of Rivero was abducted by certain people. This just goes to show what we have been saying from day one, when we accompanied Hannah May Sumerano to the Commission on Human Rights, that there is a pattern on the part of law enforcement officers to intimidate, bamboozle, and bring undue pressure and influence upon the witnesses to point to Congressman Teves. And now that they have been afforded counsel of their own choice, as is their right under the Constitution, the truth is now coming out.
Attorney Ferdie, accused Rivero was basically saying that the day after, I believe, March 4 or March 5, supposed to be, he was going to go to the police station to report na nawala po yung kanyang motor. He saw a police car, from what I understand. Pinara po niya, pero imbis na supposed to be isumbong niya yung nawawala niyang motor at isumbong sa pulis, kinuha daw siya at pinaamin na may kinalaman siya dun sa pagpatay kay Governor Degamo and 9 others. Ano po. Subsequently, he was tortured, etc., sir. The question is, how does one prove torture? Because one can say one thing and then recant the next time and then maybe again recant, or somebody could actually really be saying the truth from the very beginning. Attorney Fadulian was saying that the supposed torture of accused Rivero is something that he needs to prove to the panel. What's your reaction to that?
Definitely. I was in an interview in another station with the lawyer of these recanting witnesses. He was on Zoom. And in fact, he is the one who is taking initiatives to have Rivero examined by the doctor. He said on public record that there are still marks on the neck of Rivero arising from the torture, etc. Plus, of course, there is the testimony of the witness himself, which should not be taken lightly, because there is a policy in our constitution that is very averse to torture or any other forms of intimidation with respect to criminal prosecutions. Plus the fact that there are other people, well, Hannah May Sumerano for one, who have already gone to the CHR and stood pat on their earlier reports that they were tortured. They should raise some serious concerns on the part of the agencies themselves. They are alleging bribery. I just read this morning in the news that there are allegations that NBI agents were bribed. They should be investigated and found to find out whether they are true or not. Because if there is bribery, who is bribing? Again, the DOJ, the investigative agencies are throwing around unsubstantiated charges that are easy to make, yet they cannot prove.
But he was saying that it would have been proper if there was some sort of examination thereafter being allegedly tortured. Meron kayang medico legal, or would it have been right for accused Rivero to have filed some sort of complaint or asked for a representative from the Commission on Human Rights just to prove or to substantiate this supposed torture?
Opo, I think sa narinig ko po kay Attorney Villanueva kahapon dun sa isang panayam po namin, they were the ones who are already taking the initiative to have the detainee examined before the marks of torture heal, so that there may be a determination. Sila na po ang mismo nga nagkakukusa. Kasi sinasabi nilang baka pwedeng i-examine na ng doktor habang may marka pa yung leeg, habang yung mga tadyak ay yung mga hematoma ay naroon pa.
And meron pa ho ba? Because this happened sometime, I'm just assuming, sir, no, kasi he was arrested or he surrendered, however way you want to call this, sometime March 5 or March 6? I believe March 5, sir.
Opo, from what I heard, because hindi po ako ang abogado ni Rivero, but ang inihahayag ko lang po is what I heard from his lawyer yesterday during an interview where when we were together in one show, na there are still marks, and that's why they are eager to have him examined before the marks totally disappear. At mukhang ang nagdi-delay yata ay yung NBI. Baka sila ang gustong mawala na yung mga marka. So they are taking the initiative, meaning to say ay may basihan po itong torture at gusto nilang patunayan sa publiko at sa preliminary investigation na may torture po. And one thing that struck me, Ma'am Pinky, is that yung reaction po ng PAO na pinagbawalan na po yung mga PAO lawyers na mag-assist sa extrajudicial confessions because according to PAO chief, to prevent the PAO from being used by evil-minded persons. So I would assume that Yusek Rueda Acosta would not want the PAO to become a rubber stamp or to lend an imprimatur to this sort of forced or coerced confessions.
Are you saying that the PAO now, basically, it's a hands-off policy from their end? Ganun ho ba yun?
Kasi po nabasa ko, ang alam ko lang po rito yung mga nababasa ko po sa pahayagan, ano? Nagsumbong po itong si Rivero na the PAO just told him, just sundin mo na lang yung gusto nila para hindi ka na pahirapan.
Yeah, I think...
So, siguro since na-drag into the scandal, so to speak, yung PAO, at kilala ko yan si Ferdie Topacio, maayos po. She is a decent, honest, public servant. Ayaw niyo pong magamit yung PAO sa mga ganito na parang nalilegalize pa yung mga torture at sa pilitang mga pagkumpisal.
This is something that confuses me, your last statement. Ang sinasabi niyo po, sa pagkaalam niyo, si PAO Chief Persida Acosta ay matinong tao. Pero doon sa sinasabing salaysay ni accused Rivero, please correct me if I'm wrong, sir, he was basically saying that the PAO, allegedly, was just saying, pirmahan mo na lang yan para walang gulo. So, ano ho yung connection ng disente, pero sasabihin ng PAO na gawin mo na lang yan? Hindi ba kung disente ka, hindi mo sasabihin na gawin mo na lang yan? Sabihin mo ang katotohanan. Hindi ho ba ganun yun? Isn't that supposed to be the line of the PAO lawyers? Just taking into account what accused Rivero saying, ha?
No, what I mean po is, ang matino is, kung nakikita niya siguro na merong ganitong pattern sa certain PAO lawyers na hindi napoprotektahan ang karapatan ng mga detainee, ay sinasabi siguro niya, ayaw ko na, kasi ang sitwasyon po ma'am is, the PAO is always the default counsel whenever a person surrenders or is arrested at mayroong ginagawang extrajudicial confession ng mga law enforcement authorities natin. At sometimes, I say this is not a reflection on Yusek Rueda kasi she cannot be micromanaging all the PAO lawyers.
Okay.
Ang sinasabi ko po, kapag may PAO lawyers na parang they take the path of least resistance, ay ang nangyayari pa, nai-invoke pa yung PAO na sinasabing, hindi, may abogado naman yan. Although, the PAO is not really the counsel of one's choice. Pagkatapos, kaladkad pa yung PAO sa parang nagiging complicit pa yung ibang PAO lawyers. I'm not referring to the PAO as an institution. Maayos mong institution yung PAO. I have dealt with them so many times. Kapag nasasangkot ang ilang PAO lawyers na nagiging parang rubber stamp siguro nitong mga extrajudicial confessions na nalilegitimize, yan po ang ayaw ni Yusek Rueda.
I see. So basically, now I get it. What you're saying is because, according to accused Rivero, he was saying that sinabi sa kanya allegedly ng PAO na pirmahan mo na lang yan para wala na lang gulo. Yun po, that's what you mean, na may iba.
Yes po.
May iba po, hindi yung institution itself na papayag na lang ng ganun.
It's very good. I've worked with them doon sa Dengbaksya, doon sa case ni De Lima. This institution is on the whole, siguro 99% made up of people who are highly motivated, knowledgeable, and very professional and very industrious. Kaya lang, alam niyo po kasi, this is the reality on the ground. Usually, ang natatawag po kasi sa mga extrajudicial confessions, yung mga new recruits ng PAO ng mga babe in the woods, baka na-intimidate din ng mga police, they take the path of least resistance. So siguro, ang gusto ni Yusek Rueda bilang isang matinong public servant, I know her personally, napakatino po niyan, ay huwag na lang tayong makisali pag extrajudicial confession kasi tayong itinuturo para ma-legalize kung meron mang torture o intimidation or threats. Buti pa, huwag na lang tayong makialam dyan. Let the detainee get a lawyer of his own choice para hindi masisi ang PAO.
That's why they lawyered up, as the DOJ was saying, no? I mean, it's been a couple of weeks na sinabi they've lawyered up. Okay, I want to move on just to this, sir. Let's just take, for example, there are 10 to 11 suspects or accused for have or will recant. I know this is not a numbers game, sir, but if there are 6 that
Yes.
will still continue to point to Congressman Arnie Teves. Plus, according to Attorney Fadulyon, there are other pieces of evidence, not just testimonial, which he says na pwedeng magbago nga, pero meron yung forensic. And when I asked him about that, I said, would that be yung mga basyo ng bala na nakita doon sa crime scene that is compared to what was found in the sugar mill? I believe he answered in the affirmative. What do you say to that, sir?
Well, the forensics are circumstantial evidence that should be connected by a testimonial sponsor. And with respect to that, ma'am, I'm going to say this for the first time publicly. Alam niyo po, may mga nagmamalasakit po sa atin sa NBI. Ang NBI po is also a very professional organization. Ako po ay nanggaling dyan noong panahon ni Mayor Lim. Ang gagaling po ng mga tao dyan, sometimes lang nadadala ng liderato ng DOJ kasi under yan ng DOJ. May mga nagsusumbong po sa amin ng mga nagmamalasakit na pwersahan daw pong kinuhanan ng blood samples yung mga detainees. Kung yun ang sinasabi ng forensic evidence, ipaplant nila yung mga dugong yun, kaiingat po tayo. I can see a pattern here wherein out of desperation, sa taranta na po ng DOJ na nadudurog yung kanilang narrative, they will be resorting to desperate measures, including the planting of blood samples. Ako natatakot po ako dyan sa mga sitwasyon na yan.
Baka sabihin din po sa inyo, own up to this allegation or shut up.
I will po, we will. We will own up to these allegations. Hindi po kami katulad ng reliable information na darating pero hindi pala dumating.
Okay.
Lahat po ng sinasabi ko ito are of public record at lahat po ito ay handa po kaming patunayan at the proper time.
Attorney, last question, sir. Nagdadalawang isip ho ba, is he reconsidering to come home si Congressman Arnie Teves?
As far as I know, hindi po kasi yung threats to his life have remained unabated as of the present. So dalawa po kasi yung considerations niya, yung fairness and yung threats to his life. Tignan po natin kung magiging parehas po ang pasya ng Department of Justice with respect to the recantations kasi parang sila na po ang naglo-lawyer up din for the Degamo. Kasi alam nyo, impartial po dapat ang trato ng DOJ at the preliminary investigation stage. And they should not be giving conclusions with respect to the recantations independently of the prosecutors who will be conducting a preliminary investigation. Naiimpluwensyahan po nila yung prosecutors, yung sina Fadulyon, sina Clavano, si Secretary Remulla. They are influencing their colleagues. Hindi po maganda yan para sa isang institusyon.
All right. Lead Counsel of Congressman Arnie Teves. Attorney Ferdie Topacio, sir, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
We'll be taking a very short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned.